Well, it is cold and gray out there this late January, but if you're chomping at the bit for this upcoming growing season like I am, then I have something super exciting to share with you today. I'm going to show you how you can grow hundreds, dare I say, thousands of plants with this seed starting setup for less than $200 with no tools required, and it only takes 30 minutes to set up. So if you're dreaming about filling your garden and your yard with flowers and vegetables, or like me, you want to do those things and then have plants left over to sell for your backyard business or side hustle, I'm going to show you how to sow seeds of success. Okay, first, why don't you come in and take a closer look, and then we'll talk about the different elements. Here you can see that the shelving unit is vented. They're not solid shelves. The grow lights that I'm using came with their own hardware. They have the chain. They didn't have these S-hooks. Those my husband had in his garage, so we used those. But if you wanted to keep costs down, you could also use zip ties. You would just have to probably cut them when you wanted to raise the chain. And you can see that the grow lights all connect to each other through these cords. We've got 3 seed trays across. These down here are our lazy seeds. They were planted at the same time as the other trays, but they're things that take longer to germinate. Let's talk about the structure first. I got this plastic shelving unit at Harbor Freight right before Christmas. This was my Christmas gift from my husband. It was what I wanted this year. For years, I have been starting seeds on my kitchen counters, and it's worked great. I have a bright and sunny kitchen, so no issues there, but having seed trays all over my counters for the entire spring can get a little messy, so this is a much better setup for me. This plastic shelving unit came from Harbor Freight. It was $59.99. It has 5 tiers, and it is 3 feet wide by about 18 inches deep. I love this because it's nice and sturdy. I don't have this mounted, but it does come with wall brackets. So if you had this in an area like a garage or an unfinished basement, and you were worried that it was going to get knocked over, or if you have pets like I do or kids, you could mount this to the wall for a little extra security. It came zip tied together from Harbor Freight in just a small package, no box. You cut the zip ties, and then the whole thing just snaps together. You don't need any tools, and it goes up like that. I also love that at the end of the growing season, when I don't need these shelves anymore because everything is going to be in my greenhouse or hoop houses or just planted out in my garden, I can take this down, pack it up together, and stick it in my garage. It's not going to take up a ton of room, and it doesn't need to be in my dining room by my back door for the entire year. Next, let's talk about these seed trays. These seed trays I bought for the first time this year, and I love them. First, I like that they're the color green. They kind of match my shirt. What do you think? But more importantly, they come with a humidity dome, which is super important. Many seeds benefit from being started with a humidity dome to keep moisture in. It takes a little bit of the pressure off of you as the gardener because you don't have to monitor the moisture levels quite as often. The humidity will stay in and keep the seeds moist until they sprout. And then once they sprout, you could take the humidity dome off. The other reason why I love this is because once my seed starting days are behind me for the year, I can reuse these trays for softwood propagation. So it's kind of going to do double duty for me. Next, it comes with a 40 cell tray. Now, I don't think these are necessarily any more sturdy than the ones that you would buy at the big box store, but they're nice and deep. And the other thing that I really like is that it has holes in the bottom, which is great for when your seedlings are little and you want to pop them out to repot them. Oftentimes, without the holes on the bottom, you're trying to take them out from the little tiny stems and you can rip them. But with these holes in the bottom, it also comes with these 2 tools. This one and this dibbler, which is like a spoon. I really like this for checking the roots on my plants that are propagating. But the end of this one fits into the holes to pop the plants out. So you won't have to worry about tearing the roots or tearing the stems or trying to squeeze it and pop it out this way, which is sometimes ineffective. And lastly, it comes with a solid tray on the bottom, which is great for bottom watering. Now, usually when I would start my seeds, I would spritz them with a water bottle to keep them moist. And that works great in the very beginning before they start to sprout. But once the plants start to set roots, if you're only spraying them with a spritzer, that water isn't going to penetrate down into the soil where the roots are, and you can have seedlings die. By using the tray, you can bottom water, which is so much better for the plants. It's also less work for you because you don't have to water quite as often, and your plants will thrive. Now, this setup came from Amazon in a 5-pack, the humidity domes, the 40-cell pack, the green tray, the 2 tools, and even some plant tags for $18. So if you break that down, that's only $3 a tray. And like I said, I really love them because I'll use them again for propagation later on in the season. I think things like hydrangea and weigela will propagate really well in these trees. I also like them because they fit perfectly 3 across on my plastic shelving unit to give me 120 plants per shelf. Next, let's talk grow lights. Now, I got these grow lights also at Harbor Freight. They're listed for $22.99 a piece, but I had a coupon, so I was able to get them for $19.99 each, which was a great deal. If you don't normally shop at Harbor Freight and you forget to check for coupons before you go, ask the cashier. That was what we did. My husband took me to Harbor Freight to get all of this for Christmas. It was a day or two before the holiday, and originally I was going to order on Amazon, but shipping is tricky around the holidays. So we found these grow lights on Harbor Freight's website, and they got fantastic reviews. So we got the shelving unit, and we got 4 lights all at one time. The cashier was nice enough to put in a coupon for us. So we got these for $19.99 each. Now you can see they have been working great for my plants. I'll give you a close up. See? They look really green and healthy. And let me show you one other thing with the seed tray. I forgot to mention before, having the clear cell packs, you can see the roots when they start to grow, so you can be absolutely sure when it's time to up-pot. So now let me tell you how the system is less than perfect and what I'm going to do to correct it when I get my next setup, which is going right here on this wall so that I can grow twice as many plants. You can see that these grow lights are 2 feet long and my shelves are 3 feet long. So there is a gap here between the end of the light, the end of the tray, and even the end of the shelf. All right, I could probably fit a couple of more plants if I moved everything all the way to the edge here, but the grow lights don't extend long enough. So I was looking on Amazon and I found a 6-pack of grow lights from Barina, who's known for their grow lights, for $89.99. But right now there's a $15 off coupon, which is gonna bring the price of those lights down to $75. So for my next setup, I'm gonna go with the same plastic shelves because I think they're great. I think they're sturdy. I think they're gonna hold up for a really long time. But I'm gonna order the grow lights from Amazon because they're going to be longer. I am happy with these grow lights and I'll continue to use them. But one of the things that I've noticed is that because the shelves are 18 inches deep, I only have 1 grow light, and really I could have fit 2 next to each other. What's happening is that some of the plants on the edges are starting to curve in to try to find the light. Now it's okay because I just move the trays around and flip-flop them when I need to, and that helps to straighten them out. But if I had the 6-pack of Barina grow lights, I would be able to put where I need them 2 next to each other, and they would extend all the way from one side of the shelf to the other, meaning I could fit even a little bit more. Now, I don't have any lights on the top shelf here, so for the 4 levels that I have, I'm growing 480 plants. But here's the thing. When I plant my cell packs, I put extra seeds in each one. So for the most part, I will be able to divide each of these cell packs in 2. So that's going to give me about 950, 960 plants if I divided every single cell. So that's why I'm saying you can grow thousands of plants. If you succession plant, if you start with the plants that take the longest to germinate and grow out, like rosemary and lavender, and then you move along to things that don't take quite as long, like your zinnias and your tomatoes and your peppers, you could definitely grow 2 different successions of plants totaling over 1,000. So tell me, which seeds are you most excited to start this year? Because as you can see, I am not nearly done. And if you're going to sell some plants, tell me what you think your bestseller will be. I will tell you from my previous experience the last few years, my family and I have done really well with any kind of edible. So we did herbs and vegetables last year. We almost sold out of all of those. We also did things like blueberries, raspberries, blackberries, any kind of edible kind of flew off of our shelves. So we started here with our herbs, especially the ones that take a little bit longer, and then these will all get up pot and put out into our greenhouse to continue growing on while we start the next round. That's one other thing that I'll tell you is that you need to have a plan for what you're going to do with your plants once they're ready to leave your seed starting station. If you have a hoop house or a greenhouse, those are natural choices. Or maybe you start these a little bit later and wait until it's going to be warm outside where you can put them directly outside. It's not going to be warm enough here for me to do that. These are all going to get up potted and then put into my greenhouse to grow on. If you purchase the seed station the way that I did from Harbor Freight with the trays from Amazon, this setup will cost you about $180, and then you'll have some money left over for seeds and soil. I use Sunshine Grow Mix number 4. I use that for everything, so that's what I'm using here too. You can use any kind of potting soil that you like, and it'll leave you a little bit money left over for seeds, depending on whether you want to go super expensive and buy professional seeds from a place like Johnny Seeds, or if you're just going to go to your local big box store. Both of them work great. If you decide to get the 6-pack of grow lights from Barina on Amazon instead of these, you'll actually spend a little bit less money, and this system will come in for you at $171. I'll leave links for all the pieces of this seed starting station in the description below. I really hope that this video was helpful for you, and I wanted to thank you all so much for supporting my channel. I can't believe that I am over 5,000 subscribers, which means that I'm working on a blooper reel to show you so I can embarrass myself and hopefully make you smile. If you're not a subscriber, I would love to invite you to subscribe to the channel. I have some really great videos in the works for you. I'm going to be doing a video on propagating grapes, and I have to tell you, it is so much easier than I thought. I'm gonna have tons of grapevines for sale this year. And if you have a grapevine growing in your yard, you can do the same thing. It's super easy. I'm also gonna do some really fun and exciting hardwood cutting experiments, which I think you'll enjoy. My February What Seeds to Start Now is going to be coming out hopefully by next week. Thanks so much for watching and subscribing. Have a great day.